Welcome back to Adri's Homestead Life. In this vlog, I would like to talk about some of the different flour what I'm using making bread and rolls, and we are going to make bread and rolls, Adri's Homestead rolls as well together. Let's see if our new flour it's gonna be a success or not. Also, we are dealing with the dried beans, what we've been collecting from the garden. I'm going to store them in a mason jar for later on for the winter, so we can use it up in stews, soups, you know, whatever we fancy to have some beans in. Also, I would like to finish Alan's hat, winter hat, what I've started knitting. But first of all, I would like to take you with me and have a look our animals, how they're doing, do the morning chores with them, you know, feed the bird feeder, feed the animals, milk the goats, feed the goats, turkeys, chickens, ducks. So it's gonna be a little bit of a different video. And our garlic syrup is running out to strain, our cough syrup. So I'm going to show you how I strain the garlic syrup as well. So hope you're gonna have fun with me today. Let's watch the vlog. We are filling up my strong white flour in this little, I don't know what this is. It's like a plastic and it's metal inside and it's got a cover, like a little storage container. I've been experimenting with new brand of flours. I've bought a trio of flours of this organic stone ground flour company. I've got strong white, plain white and rye. And this bag is 8 kilograms. I usually buy my flours in bulk for years now. And what is the measure? Oh, here, plain. I'm gonna use the plain today. Strong white I use for flour. The plain white I can also use for anything really, but mainly for baking, maybe buns or maybe pancake or waffle, or you know, anything really. I haven't tried the rye yet. I would like to try to bake bread with it. But I thought this is now it's getting low, so I thought I fill this up first and then we're gonna have a look what the bread flour bin look like, if that needs filling up. And I'm going to start with making bread today. Also, we had turkey burger yesterday and I still got 2 left, and I'm going to make buns, Adri's Homestead buns, so we can have it with the, you know, cheese, onion, the burger, tomato slice, ketchup, or I'll make mayonnaise as well today, and maybe with some chips or salad. So we are making bread, Adri's homestead rolls, and I'm going to take the beans out of the freezer, what is there since yesterday, the dried beans, and I'm going to put the butter beans in it, the runner beans in at the moment. I like to put it in a freezer for a day to kill any bugs or eggs that manage to get inside the egg, dried egg, because that can spoil our harvest in storage. And now I just leave it out for another day or 2 and we can put it back in storage. I usually use just like a mason jars with lid. Yeah, we managed to grow a year worth of beans this year. I still got, that's on the list as well for today, to de-shell all the huge basket full of beans today. I also would like to finish off Al's hat what I started knitting, and I would like to spend some time in the garden as well, weeding, tidying, getting beds ready for crops. as today is our last very lovely warm autumn day. From tomorrow it starts to cool down, and by the weekend we might have frost or very close to frost temperatures. So anything frost tender what I think needs to be harvested, it needs to be dealt with the next couple of days. So you are welcome in my garden and in my kitchen, and let's do this. I'm just reading through these labels. They've got organic and non-organic range. The organic range of this flour is they've got in wholemeal, brown, strong white, spelt, rye, light rye, self-raising. I might buy the self-raising range as well, and organic plain white. So this one is the organic strong white flour. That's what I'm using or experimenting. I've only made a few bread. It was alright. I tried to get unbleached flours and on organic range. So the strong white, what this is, I am using to make bread. So this is my way to go and go-to flour at the moment. Fill this up so I don't need to run back all the time and fill, because I do make lots of bread. And for us, this 8 kilogram, I think it's gonna be a good, that will last, I don't know, a good few months. It all depends how many bread I make. I usually use half a kilogram to make a bread, and it depends, it's not always the same, but I usually do about 2 bread a week, so a kilogram a week. So yeah, a couple of months will last us. This is a couple of months, and at the same time I've got some other flours as well to use. So right, let's get baking. I start the day with a cup of coffee. I've made some elderflower cordial for me to go through the day in case we go to the garden. Nice cold drink. I will be putting this back to the fridge to be nice and cool. Also making lemon balm tea. Just like a good pinch in this pot. And our water is just cooled down to that right temperature. And I'll let this soak for 15 minutes before we strain it. And that will make a lovely tea for later. Let's measure out the flour. So I always sieve the flour. So we need 500 grams. The apple cake I've made yesterday is gorgeous. I'll definitely have to save that recipe for future. And the vanilla ice cream is, you know, can't go wrong with the vanilla ice cream. Halfway through, and I use 300 ml of lukewarm water. Mix it together and leave it for an hour, hour and a half before I'm going to put the sourdough starter and the salt to it. I also would like to make some buns as well. This is for the bread. Nearly there. $500. So this goes to this glass bowl. 300 ml of lukewarm water. And give it a good stir. And I will be covering this with shower cap. We are making Adri's homestead roll next. So the ingredients are, we're gonna use 1.5 cups of sourdough starter, a cup of buttermilk, 2 eggs, 3 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm using strong white flour today. I say 3 cups plus because we might need 3.5, might need 4 cups. It all depends on a texture of the dough when we're going to mix it together. We're gonna use salt and honey and butter. So the first step, we've got our homemade buttermilk we've made together. So we're gonna use a cup of homemade buttermilk. Into this we're going to put 2 tablespoons of honey. So I'm just gonna eyeball this. It's about 2 tablespoons of honey, 2 teaspoons of salt, and so buttermilk, butter. We need a 1/2 cup of butter. So I'm gonna eyeball this. It's about 1/2 cup. And then we're going to heat this up not more than 100 degrees Fahrenheit. So we're going to check that until the butter and the salt melts. So we just give it on a medium-low heat until, I'm gonna keep my eye on it, that won't take long, a few minutes until the butter melts and the salt. And then I'm going to put the 1.5 cups of sourdough starter. The reason we don't want to heat it up more than 100 degrees Fahrenheit, we don't want to kill any good bacteria from the sourdough. So that would help with our buns to rise. So we've got the sourdough starter and then the 2 eggs. We're going to whisk this really well together with the buttermilk mixture. And then we're going to add gradually to our mixture the 3 cups of the strong white flour. So our buttermilk mixture is now nicely melted together, the butter and the salt. And it's still under that 100 degrees Fahrenheit, so we are ready to pour this into our sourdough and egg mixture. And now we're going to give a good mix. Mix this together really well before we're gradually going to add the flour. Mix this really well. It's already smelling good. This is gonna be amazing with our turkey burgers for tonight's dinner. So we are adding 3 cups of flour. Start with the first cup, get the second ready. Give it a good mix. And until we get like a sticky dough. Everything nicely combines together, and we're going to knead that dough until it's smooth and pliable before we're going to add the greased. I'm going to use olive oil to grease my glass bowl, and we're going to rest our dough there for 2 hours, covering with shower cap before we're going to do the next step. So we've got 2 jobs going already. And I still need to do my chores today. Feed the chickens, turkeys, ducks, dogs, milk the goat, feed the goats, feed the wild birds, and I'll be back and we do the next step. Right, this is our 3rd cup now. I think I'm slowly going to switch to my hands. And then I can see now that we will need more than 3 cups of flour. I'm not going to add straight away the whole 4 cup. I'm gonna add half a cup. And then we go from there. Right. Try to remove as much as I can from this dough mix. And I'm switching to my hands. And give it a good knead. Every time you work with new flour, if you're a bread maker, it always takes time to get used to that new flour. So I am actually don't know how this is gonna turn up, guys. I'm a bit on edge, to be frank with you. But how we know if we won't try, right? And I really wanted to try a local flour. Now, right. We have definitely reached that sticky dough stage. But I think I'm just gonna add just a sprinkle more. Not too much, like a tablespoon. And I think that's gonna be enough. Give this dough a rest for 2 hours. I just grabbed a bit more flour, so that will help the rest of the dough come off my finger. That's it, it's better. And I am happy with this dough now. I'm folding in the middle. That's ready to go. The greased bowl. Got a bit of a strange smell to it. Okay, so it's not much. A teaspoon of olive oil and place our dough in there, give it a bit of a coating and cover it with shower cup. And tidy up. And after I've done my morning chores and open up the greenhouses and polytunnel, I'll be back. Good morning! Ready for breakfast? Breakfast time! Morning turkeys! Morning chickens! Girls? Morning! Mommy? Morning ducks! And squirrel. Morning! Ready for breakfast? Right, that's been over a week now. Our garlic syrup, it's ready to strain. Now we put the garlic bulbs in honey. So I took all the goodies of the garlic and the honey, and that gave us a lovely syrup. What is our cough syrup? So when you feel under the weather and you've got the cough, we'll take a teaspoon at a time. I'll give it a really good squeeze, and I don't get this garlic get wasted. We'll use this up in our cooking. I have just done a switcheroo, so this came out of the freezer. It'll stay here for a couple of days, the runner beans, dried runner beans, before we're going to put them in mason jars. And I've just put the broad beans in a freezer. So our garlic syrup, it's ready. Oh, it smells good. And it tastes good as well. So I'm just going to put this garlic back to the jar, and we'll use this up in our cooking. One more job done. I've just put the sourdough starter and the pink Himalayan salt as well to our bread mixture. Week number 3. Bathroom still undergoing. The dough has been now resting for 2 hours, so I am dividing these balls. Let's see how many we can do. And making them to a ball shape. Just pull the dough around like that until it all meets in the middle, and just shape it to a ball like that. And I will be placing them. I put butter in this glass bowl, and they will rest in here for further 2 hours. And I will cover them with shower cup. My next job is, I've just made the mayonnaise. And my next job is to deal with the shallots and the beans. So they will be resting further 2 hours. Covered with a shower cup in a warm place. In my case, in this kitchen table. Cheers. Just want to show you the mayo. It's fermenting now. Put a teaspoon of sauerkraut juice in there. So I leave it over 6 hours on a kitchen table here before we're going to put it in a fridge. Right, our next job to deal with all these shallots. I'm gonna peel all these shallots, and then we're going to freeze dry them. I've nearly done selling all these beans. I'm just gonna have to select. So these are the runner beans. That's the borlotti. These small ones are the pole beans. I've got all different colors. So they are the, you know, the three: yellow, purple and green. These are the borlotti. Yeah. Yeah, I'm doing well. It's going in a compost. And the basket is getting emptier. Nearly empty. The rolls are ready. I'm going to fry the turkey burger. Salad is ready. And we're going to have it with mozzarella. It is the next day, and I've decided not to bake this bread because it's still quite dense. Remember, I'm practicing this, experimenting with this new flour I bought, but I don't like. I know if I would have baked this bread, it would have been good. So, but I don't want to get wasted, so what I'm gonna do, I've got the cast iron pan, medium heat, medium high, and we're going to make naan bread breakfast. The buns turned out okay, but I'm not that happy, you know, it's a bit dense, not that fluffy, this sourdough. So the beans are now ready to put them in jars for storage. So I'm going to do this first, and then we're going to I've shelled all these lovely beans. These are the tricolor pole beans. So that will go now on a freeze drying tray and go in a freezer for a day. And then we can store those as well. So this will make a lovely naan bread. I can go to the pan now. We'll have this for breakfast. And we just use this up. I can go back to the fridge and we'll use this up as a naan bread or flatbread for the upcoming days. Okay. So what I'm very happy about, I finished to knit the hat for my husband, so that's really lovely. I really like that. And in overall we had a good day, you know, so I'm just making the plans for the day ahead now. I've just started the freeze dryer with the shallots because I've managed to deal with all the shallots yesterday as well. So they are now in a freeze dryer. I'm going to keep my eye on it, make sure the machine is behaving itself today. And I am thinking of making salves next couple of days. So hopefully we can do that together as well. But for now, bye friends! Breakfast is ready. Let's try this naan bread. Just tell you what we've got on the plate. So we've got that naan bread, we've got mozzarella, onion, mayonnaise and the tomatoes, mixed varieties. So all homemade product. Let's try. Oh, and we've got some sausages there as well. That's shop bought. This naan bread is so good. Sorry. And I know it wouldn't be good for bread. And this way, it's not gonna get wasted. This tomato is so good. Honestly, we've got a few more weeks of tomatoes. And then, I'm not going to buy tomatoes for, well, I never buy tomatoes. I'm only gonna have probably tomatoes if you go on holiday or eat out. What is not gonna be an awful lot. And the next tomato is gonna be probably next year in July, August. So I'm really going to enjoy this breakfast today. So good.